Ivan IV, known as Ivan the Terrible, was the first ruler officially crowned as Tsar of Russia. He was born in 1530 and became ruler while still a child after his father's death. Growing up surrounded by violence and conspiracies deeply affected his personality. He became extremely suspicious of everyone, even those closest to him. Ivan was an intelligent military leader who greatly expanded Russian territory. However, he became most famous for his cruelty and terrifying punishments. He created a feared force called the Oprichniki to terrorize enemies and traitors. The members wore black clothes and spread fear across Russian cities. He ordered mass executions and brutal torture against suspected opponents. During one violent outburst, he struck his own son with an iron staff and killed him. Afterward, he reportedly fell into deep grief and mental collapse. Today, he is remembered both as a builder of Russia and a symbol of tyranny. Nero was one of the most controversial emperors in ancient Roman history. He became emperor at a young age after political conspiracies inside the palace. At first, he appeared calm and popular among the Roman people. Over time, however, he became obsessed with music, theater, and performance. He considered himself a great artist and forced people to attend his shows. According to famous stories, he played music while Rome burned in a massive fire. Although historians debate the truth of the story, it became a symbol of his recklessness. After the fire, he built an enormous palace known as the Golden House. Many accused him of using the disaster for his own luxury projects. He also became known for harsh treatment of rivals and even family members. As revolts spread across the empire, his rule weakened dramatically. Eventually, Nero fled and committed suicide, ending his infamous reign. Caligula is considered one of the strangest and most unstable Roman emperors. His real name was Gaius, but he earned the nickname Caligula as a child. He came to power after Emperor Tiberius and was welcomed by the public. At first, he was admired, but after a mysterious illness, his behavior changed completely. He became violent, unpredictable, and often made bizarre decisions. Caligula spent huge amounts of state money on luxury and extravagant parties. He became especially famous for his unusual love for his horse, Incitatus. Stories claim he gave the horse servants, expensive food, and a luxurious home. Some accounts even say he planned to give the horse an official government position. He punished people harshly for minor reasons and terrified many Romans. His guards and nobles eventually feared his unstable personality. In the end, Caligula was assassinated inside the imperial palace. Vlad III, known as Vlad the Impaler, ruled the region of Wallachia in present-day Romania. He lived during the 15th century, a time filled with wars and violent conflict. Vlad became famous for his bravery against invading enemies, especially the Ottomans. However, his greatest fame came from his horrifying methods of punishment. He often used impalement against criminals and captured enemies. Impalement was an extremely cruel execution method causing slow and painful death. Vlad displayed thousands of impaled bodies around roads and cities. Enemy armies approaching his territory were met with terrifying scenes of death. He used fear as a psychological weapon before battles even began. Despite his brutality, many Romanians viewed him as a defender of the nation. His story later inspired the legendary vampire character Dracula. Even today, his name remains connected to horror and fear. Howard Hughes was one of the richest and most famous businessmen in America. Born in 1905, he inherited a massive fortune from his family at a young age. He entered the film industry and produced several highly successful movies. Hughes was also passionate about aviation and advanced aircraft design. He broke aviation speed records and became a symbol of innovation and adventure. Over time, he gained control of major companies across different industries. Later in life, however, severe mental struggles began to affect him. He developed an extreme fear of germs and obsessive cleaning habits. He constantly washed his hands and demanded strict rules from those around him. Hughes spent years isolated inside dark, sealed hotel rooms. His appearance and lifestyle became increasingly strange to the public. His life eventually became a famous example of isolation and obsession. Rasputin was a mysterious religious figure in late imperial Russia. He came from a poor family, but somehow reached the royal palace. He became famous for his strange personality and powerful influence. The Russian empress believed he could heal her sick son. Because of this, Rasputin gained enormous influence over the royal family. Many nobles and politicians deeply resented his growing power. Rumors spread claiming he possessed magical or supernatural abilities. Some people considered him a holy man, while others saw him as dangerous. A group of nobles eventually decided to assassinate him. Stories claim he survived poisoning, gunshots, and brutal attacks before dying. These dramatic tales made his death legendary throughout Russian history. Even today, Rasputin remains one of history's most mysterious figures. Henry VIII was one of the most famous and controversial kings of England. He ruled during the 16th century and was known for his strong personality. In his youth, he was admired for his interest in sports, music, and politics. His desire for a male heir eventually changed England forever. Henry married 6 different women during his lifetime. When the Catholic Church refused to approve his divorce, he broke away from it. He established the Church of England and placed himself at its head. This decision caused enormous political and religious changes in the country. Several of his wives were accused of treason and executed. Henry later became known for his anger and unpredictable behavior. Despite his harshness, he greatly strengthened royal authority in England. Today, he is remembered for marriage scandals and conflict with the Church. Tipu Sultan was the ruler of the Kingdom of Mysore in southern India. He became famous for resisting British expansion during the 18th century. After inheriting power from his father, he strengthened both the army and the state. Tipu used advanced military technology, especially rocket weapons. These rockets impressed and frightened many European armies at the time. He was known as a brave and intelligent military commander. One of the strangest things about him was his obsession with tigers. He considered the tiger a symbol of strength, courage, and royal power. His palace, weapons, clothes, and throne were decorated with tiger designs. He even owned a mechanical tiger model attacking a British soldier. Because of his bravery, people called him the Tiger of Mysore. Today, he is remembered as one of India's famous anti-colonial heroes.